Today we're going to add on a little bit more from what we were discussing yesterday. The Dark Mother is very connected to nature, right? She is Mother Earth. So when you look at the cycles of nature, there are cycles of loss that are very natural, which is why we have different seasons, right? When we force things, when we go against nature, for example, the cycles in nature give us a specific crop every year, right? People don't live by that anymore. They have gotten used to, well, I want what I want, regardless of what season I'm in. I should be entitled to get whatever I want. And so it starts creating this really huge imbalance in our system where half of the world is oversaturated with food, and then the other half is very lacking in food. Now there's an imbalance. There's cycles for everything. We need to give the earth time to rest. We need to give, even in fishing, there are seasons of each thing. And because we have now stepped into the energy of, I don't want to lose anything, I want whatever I want whenever I want it, it's led to people abusing earth because everything needs to have cycles. Think about the Dark Mother is so connected to death, right? And a lot of people see death as a cruel thing. But what about the people who are, struck with illnesses that cause pain? When they pass away, isn't that a relief instead of a pain? It might be painful to you because you can't be around that person anymore, but the person who passed away is resting. So when we think of cutting people off, we have been taught to see this as a very, the Christian mindset has us looking at it like a punishment. We are punishing you because you are unworthy. You are, full of sin, or you're not good enough to be around me, and that's not what it is. When I'm telling you to cut people off, it is out of love. It is out of you trusting them to find their path to the Dark Mother without needing your assistance. Because one of the best ways that we can help others is by inspiring them. We make choices to love ourselves, respect ourselves, honor ourselves. And then we inspire them to do the same through our actions, through the respect that we show ourselves. Now, will everybody like that? No. But ultimately, it has a lot to do with the fact that, remember when we were talking about nature, how the Dark Mother is so close to nature, right? When you think about an eagle who has to teach its little chicklets to fly, right? Eventually, it's going to have to take the risk of them flying on their own. Not all baby eagles survive. Eaglets, I think they're called eaglets. Not all eaglets survive. Is that cruel, or is that just nature? The eagle's not always going to be there. It is preferable to give them the opportunity to survive for themselves because you're trusting them. You're saying, I've taught you everything you need to know. Now go. Do this for yourself. Now, when it comes to somebody else asked about protection. I believe the question was, one second. Okay, so the question was, are we not allowed to ask for protection and blessings for those who don't worship the Dark Mother? No, you're not allowed to. I mean, you can, but it's disrespectful to her. Because if you think about it, right, when you think of mother, you are associating Mother Mary. You always think of it as unconditional love, unconditional giving. That is not who the Dark Mother is. That's why she's pissed off that they've presented her in that light, because that is not who she is. She teaches us boundaries. So even with her own children, if they have turned against her and they look at her like she's demonic, they look at her like she's some treacherous, deceitful, dark thing that needs to be burned at the stake, that needs to be squashed like a roach, why would she continue extending blessings and protection over them? Do you not understand how disrespectful that would be? So, okay, we're looking at it like energy, right? Money is an energy, right? Imagine that you have a lot of money and you have 4 children. And out of those 4 children, 3 don't like you. Regardless of how much you've tried to be there for them and raise them and give to them, they don't like you. They call you all sorts of names and slurs. They talk behind your back. If it was up to them, they would kill you. Would you still say, oh, you know what? That's okay. I'm going to leave my inheritance to all 4 children? No. And if you do, you have been infected with that unconditional love mentality that Christianity has taught you to be the martyr. They glorify that, right? One of the biggest treacherous things that Christianity has done for you is taught you that the best thing you can do is sacrifice yourself for others. That is not what the Dark Mother does. She teaches us to respect yourself, fight back, do not allow people to walk over you. So no, she would not give that inheritance to all 4. She would give it to the one that is devoted to her, the one that honors her, the one that respects her. Now, if we're using that same analogy, and those other 3 children, because the one that honors and respects the Dark Mother is like, I still care for my siblings. So then she associates with these people, right? Because this is where you'll see the association thing when I was talking about choosing who you're selecting companionship with. If let's say that one daughter hangs out with the other 3 that don't like their mother, and they're constantly also disrespecting her, taking from her, since they know that the Dark Mother gives to this one, they're constantly, with their hand out like, gimme, but they don't like her. And they envy her. And they gossip about her. And they take things, they steal things from her. The Dark Mother would be angry at the one that continues associating with those people. Like, why are you disrespecting yourself that way? So it's a double-edged sword, because on one hand, it would make her upset. Like, why are you disrespecting yourself like that? And number 2, she is a goddess of justice, which means that eventually those 3 will pay for what they are doing to her. So she would be adding by saying, I'm going to keep hanging out with them. I don't care. Okay, of course you can. But the longer that you're around them, the less that they like you, because the more you grow and they are not growing, right? They're going to be looking at you like, why are you growing? Well, give to us. It's going to create more envy, resentment, jealousy, and it makes their crimes against that one stack up to where she's going to have to do something. And you are creating that because you won't let them go. And they get to see you flourish. They get to see you grow. They get to see you get all these blessings and all of her protection. And it makes them angrier and angrier. And the things that they want to do to you are going to get darker and darker. But you are still like, I don't want to let go. I'm going to hold on to them. It's not helping you, and it's not helping them. It just creates a problem all the way around. And with being taught that you just have to be there for people, that is coming from a place of attachment. That's coming from a place of fear. Attachment comes from a place of fear. Let them go. Let them figure themselves out. The best thing you can do for those people is let them go, because you inspire them. The more you grow, eventually that envy, that jealousy, that resentment, if they want to grow, it'll turn to inspiration. You inspired them. But if you continue hanging around them, this is why, people who have a lot of money, they eventually stop hanging around with people who don't, because it creates a lot of problems. They expect the person that has a lot of money to always be covering the bill, to always be paying for them, to always cater to them. And that's exhausting, because that person probably did a lot to earn their money, and these other ones did not. It's the same thing. It's an energetic imbalance. Money is an energy. Just like someone who's wealthy struggles to stay friends with someone who's not wealthy, when you have the blessing and protection of the Dark Mother, you're going to outweigh a lot of what they have. And it's going to get really dark. The connection gets really dark really quickly. And when you continue to say, I'm going to stay around them, I don't care what, you're actually damaging them. You're creating a power imbalance that eventually they'll resent you for, and you have no one to blame but yourself, because you refuse to let go.